Yes, guys, welcome back to TFW, The Final Whistle, your home, your favourite podcast when it comes to football. Before we get into today's video, make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell so you know exactly when we upload. And boys, we had a nice little roundup of the... Actually, you know what? I need to get a bit more comfortable because I need to remind people, not that, you know, it's ever going to change, but I need to remind people that North London is red.
I'm surprised it's not the Lynx Africa kit you're wearing, man. You're wearing the other day.
You're not rating that one?
Bro, the Lynx Africa one. Why does it look like deodorant?
Bro, listen, do you know what it looks like? It looks like culture.
Oh,
I don't know, man.
It looks like culture, it looks like heritage. Yeah.
What you lot do, you pander to your Jamaican fans, you know. I've locked it.
Jamaican?
Well, you see how, you know, was it 2 years ago when you had the Jamaican Arsenal
pre-match thing? Yeah.
Pre-match
another
thing,
one now as well.
and then they got another one.
Oh, we got another one? Which one is it?
The one that you guys
Oh,
wore the
jacket,
weekend
innit?
of Carnival as
Yeah,
well.
I've clocked
yeah,
it.
yeah, no,
I've clocked what you lot are
wavy,
doing.
The jacket's alright.
Jacket's
Jacket's
wavy,
alright.
so-
It's alright. It's alright.
Don't laugh. If you want a United fan, you would have grabbed it.
Maybe.
It's not bad,
man.
but
It's not
guys, anyways, North London derby. Yeah, 1-0. I'm hearing a lot of people online saying, "Oh, it was a boring game. It was like nil." Obviously, it was.
Let's be
0-0
real,
until like 70.
it was boring. It was. Let's call it a spade, it was boring.
I don't think it was boring.
It's because it was your game. For a neutral, it was boring.
Raf,
To me,
you guys are both neutrals.
The most important thing to me is, especially from an Arsenal perspective, like you're coming from, you got the win. You didn't play with who I think is your best player in Ødegaard, and you didn't play with Declan Rice, who is one of your most important players. Definitely in that midfield, you can say he's probably your most important player. So the fact that you went away from home to White Hart Lane and you still got a clean sheet, I'll say regardless of whether you thought it was boring or not, whether you thought it should have been a red card or not a yellow card, or if it was a foul or whatever, you left there with a clean sheet and a win. And if you remember from our last episode when we were talking about Arsenal not winning the game against Brighton, you guys drew the game. I was quite critical of the fact that you need to win all these games, no matter what the circumstances are. And I was worried, and I was thinking that for Arsenal fans, not worried, but I was thinking, okay, when I say worried, what I mean is I was worried that Arsenal fans would come out of this game and start giving me excuses that, we lost this game because we didn't have Rice or because we didn't have Ødegaard. To me, go there, get the job done. You guys did that. You got the clean sheet as well.
Sound exactly like Gary Neville. Sound exactly like Gary Neville because he said on his podcast after the game is done, he was like, one thing he wasn't gonna hear if we hadn't won was that because you know Rice and Ødegaard were out and it was only Partey that was really there, which I understand, to be fair with you. And going into that game, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't scared because we have like 6 or 7 injuries right now. I wasn't scared because of that.
I don't like it. I don't like that.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay, cool. We have injuries to 4 main players. Do we not?
Okay.
Cool. 4 main players were out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going there scared. I was just like, I just need to see because whenever we've taken out key members of our team, when Saliba got injured 2 seasons ago, we saw the collapse. Even towards the end of the season when Saka, I think the last 2 games he wasn't really playing, you could see the build-up in the attack wasn't quite the same. And Ødegaard has been a mainstay. Ødegaard and Rice, since they've joined, haven't missed a Premier League game. Yeah. So I was kind of thinking, okay, how is that going to play out? Creatively, I thought it was going to play out exactly the way it did. Our passes in the final third weren't as crisp, weren't as clean, weren't as accurate, but we still got the job done.
Do you think, obviously, Ødegaard didn't play. Do you think, if you guys hadn't come out of White Hart Lane with 3 points, you would have made the excuse that you wouldn't have a main player? Because Arsenal have been title challengers for about 2 years now, right? So you're obviously the better team, better than Tottenham. Yeah. So if you didn't come out with the 3 points, would that be a slight on Arsenal, or would that be an excuse because you didn't have your best player? How would you have seen it?
I think it's a bit of both because, obviously, and the reason why I say a bit of both is I never like to try and make excuses for this player wasn't there and da-da-da-da-da, because that's if, buts and maybes. But I think the only excuse I could say is that, those guys have always, since they signed, have always played. That's the only thing I would have said if we didn't. But then also, it's a thing where we still have to get the job done, because if it was 2 seasons ago this happened and then we didn't get the result, I can say that because the team hasn't, we hadn't got into those stages yet of the season where it's like, okay, our main rivals, we're beating them and we're actually going towards the title. Even if it happened last year, I would have been like, there's growth. Yeah. There's growth that needs to be done. But if it happened now, I don't think I'd have it personally.
I hear it.
I'd try hang on to that Ødegaard missing thread a little bit, but
I think also you mentioned the rivals in Man City that you're competing for the title with. I think with them, what we saw last year is even when they didn't have Haaland, they had Alvarez chipping in, scoring goals. When they didn't have De Bruyne, Foden stepped up in that moment and provided many assists and goals. So it not worries me once again because I don't care for Arsenal.
No.
But looking at the Arsenal squad, though, I did look at your bench and I thought, right, this squad is actually really thin. You shouldn't have that young of a bench from, as you said, 4 starters being out of the squad.
Yeah.
So I think going forward, though, it's something that Arsenal have to address if they want to win the league. I think you guys need to definitely pack up you need to bolster your squad even more.
But do you know what I think the thing is, the reason I said we have 6 players out is because these are 6 players that are senior players that are in and around the first team. So we have Tomiyasu out, Zinchenko was out, Rice was out, Ødegaard was out, Marino was out. That's already 5 players. And we had 3 senior players on the bench and Calafiori.
Yeah, 6,
so again, it's like, if you had those players there, or even if you had half of them, then that bench doesn't look too bad because then it's like, okay, cool, we've got attacking, midfield,
No, but that's
and
true.
defensive
But
options.
having a squad that's good enough is about having. Okay, you may have 16 players that can start, or 17 players that can start. But then also, once those players get injured, you have players who have been on the bench before. Yesterday, there were names that I've never even seen before. Yeah, I think I saw one of your tweets. So you said one of them was even. You looked like it said Kabiesi.
Because it said Jesus and then Kabia. I said Kabiesi or what is that? Exactly.
So, but you shouldn't be forced into putting players on the bench prematurely. Players that you weren't going to put on the bench or put into the match day squad.
Yeah.
Especially for a game like the North London derby. For us, for example, now I'm quite happy with our squad. We have quite a few injuries as well at the moment, but at the same time, we're still able to put some, maybe not starters, but some squad players on the bench who can, get
But that's
the job
football.
done.
Like, what was it, a couple seasons ago, we had literally almost 0 squad depth, where we literally had youngsters that never came on. Admirably, they didn't come on, but still, like, we had youngsters that we had never seen before. But one of the good things that came out of that season was like Kobe Mainu, Garnacho came through. This is seasons ago. Yeah. But as I'm saying, it's part of football. Like, and you can't use that as an excuse, because when we had an injury crisis, people were telling us to stop complaining and all of this. And I don't think it's fair that if, for example, you guys didn't go on to beat a team that you should have been beating, which is Tottenham, that the excuses come through. But
I think it's just we're all comparing it to, you're on 90k a year, I'm on 80k a year. You're on 70k a year.
Don't do that.
And we're all comparing it to drug dealers, bro. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
trying to say? And the drug dealers are City. Because their squad depth is crazy.
Speaking of rivals, I know you noticed I'm in formal attire because I've come for a funeral. I'm very, very happy with the
I don't
Liverpool
just like
result.
this to my funeral, bro.
No time.
No, not just
bro,
like this to my
it's the
funeral.
disrespectful one.
Because otherwise, I will wake up and I will tell you, Max, no, you ain't in mine, man. Honestly.
It's a disrespectful one. Liverpool,
Yeah.
Forest.
Yeah.
I loved
Hudson-Odoi.
it. I loved it. Alanga assist.
Yeah.
And the caption. Yeah.
What was the caption?
He put something like,
I didn't walk
alone today. Or something.
I had the man then with me. I didn't walk alone today. I had the man then with me.
I'm liking footballers nowadays, you know.
Yeah, we need more of that, man.
Did you see what Sarmiento posted the other day
No,
when
go
they
on.
beat Leeds? He said he put the L in Ellen Road. I saw that. I said, you know what? I'm not even a Burnley fan or whatever, but yeah.
But who was that, did you say?
Sarmiento.
Okay, because even Hannibal as well, when he came off the pitch, he was like trying to piss off the Leeds fans. Obviously, because he's United as well as Manchester, so you got that rivalry there. Yeah, I like it these days, man. But that Forest game...
Did it surprise you?
Yeah.
But even when you were watching the game?
I didn't watch it.
I had to go and watch it back.
Okay.
And obviously, I knew that they were going to score, but I can see why people were so surprised online, because Liverpool were actually dominating the game.
Yeah.
And so for Forest to come out and do that in the 70-something minute, it's crazy. It's
Good
crazy.
finish.
And yeah, good
finish.
finish. Good goal.
finish.
Good goal. I'm
And
happy for Hudson-Odoi.
Just even crazy because, and I think on our last episode, I was talking about Slot. Like, I was like, yo, he's doing really well. They're ticking. But apparently it was his game management that cost Liverpool the game, which I guess in the Premier League, I know people are going to make memes or whatever because obviously he's come from the Dutch league. People are going to say, oh, it worked against Go Ahead Eagles. It's not going to work against Nottingham
I saw that.
But like, I think it's a learning curve, do you know what I mean? And I feel like all managers go through that. And
I think also, especially in the first couple weeks of of a manager being at the club, there's always ups and downs.
Exactly.
Always inconsistencies. So, hello. I wouldn't be alarmed. I wouldn't be too alarmed if I was a Liverpool fan. But at the same time, I think it also teaches everyone else, don't get carried away. When you're seeing that the managers come in and, you know, every it happens all the time. You get that new manager bounce. You win games. Doesn't mean that's going to be sustainable for the whole season. And they're still trying to work out how he's playing. Because from Sunday's game, or was it Saturday's game, as much as I said Liverpool dominated the game, I'm still trying to work out what he's actually trying to do. And it's not really clear. And especially when you're coming from a manager in Klopp, who his idea was go, go, go. Literally, you lose the ball, you get it back within the next 10 seconds. And you don't just keep the ball, you go and put it in the back of the net. So to go from that slot, he wants to hold on to the ball more. He doesn't want to lose the ball. He doesn't want to go forward as much. I get that style of his play, but how he wants to go about doing that, it's going to be tough for the players to execute that within 4 games in the season. So patience is required, for sure.
Yeah, it obviously be gradual and whatnot. But I think for me, it was more of a shock only because they were at Anfield. And do you know what I mean? Like now, in the last 5 games, they've lost 2. Last 5 games in Anfield, they've lost 2. Whereas previously, it was like they only lost 1 in the last 58, I think it was. So it's like, obviously,
a long run,
long run. But
do you think last bit on Liverpool? Do you guys feel like this is just a slip up, like just a mishap slip up, or do you think Liverpool are actually there to get at? I mean, obviously, having come off beating Man United 3-0, I know how good they are. But is it a thing where they've just slipped up, won, and at Anfield, or are Liverpool actually a team that you can get at and not the resilient Klopp team that we've seen evolve for the last 2, 3, 4 seasons?
I think it's definitely a bit of both. I think it's definitely also partly just people getting carried away and thinking because they beat United 3-0. There's always 2 sides of the story. And when you look at that United-Liverpool game, I can still argue it wasn't a 3-0 game. And even if we lost 3-0, a lot of it was down to United playing really shit. Let's be honest, it was actually on us as United playing shit. And then on the other side of things, as I said, I think it also comes down to just new manager. There's going to be inconsistencies. There's going to be ups and downs. So I think it's a slip up, but I think this is going to happen again. And I think it's going to be hard to predict where Liverpool finish, but they definitely won't be competing for the title this season.
Really?
Definitely not. They're not competing for the title this season.
I think they could make I think they could compete the same way they competed last year, in the sense where they'll be in and around. You know,
Dark horses toward the end.
Did they really compete last year though?
They competed mathematically.
They were there in and about.
Mathematically, they were there. Like mathematically, they could have, but their maths didn't add up, unfortunately.
Even the jaws, but you know.
And where was your maths? Where did the maths lose?
You weren't competing though.
No. Because that was unnecessary. Shall I call Liverpool again to come and deal with you guys or what? But one team that I want to focus on though is Everton, because the exact same result 2 weeks in a row. Go up 2-0, fluff your lines.
Yeah.
That strike was unbelievable though.
What, to run?
Yeah, that strike was unbelievable.
It is a great goal. It was a great
but
goal.
it is on them.
There were 2 other goals before that, you know.
Yeah, true.
And it's just like.
And they also had chances. Calvert-Lewin, I think he did some nonsense trying to go around the keeper, and then he hit the crossbar after that.
There was that one where he tried to go around the keeper. He went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because the defender was coming on his left, and for some reason he said, "You know what? Maybe if I do reverse psychology and go to the left instead of the right."
I don't think he saw the tracking player coming from around.
It's sad because he started so well as well, man. Yeah. He started so well.
As in this season or in his career?
No, I'm talking
this
about
season.
Well, this season and also the game too. You know. For him to score, I think that was his 2nd goal of the season so far already.
It's
a shame, man.
I'm gonna keep this.
Everton aren't going down. I don't like when people saying they're going. They're not going to go down. No, but I'm seeing people are saying Everton's finally going to get relegated. They're not going to get relegated.
I love Everton because it's part of Premier League history. Whenever you look at the classic Premier League teams from when we grew up as small kids watching the Prem for the first time, and then we understood football, and now we're here, we understand football even more, and we're really passionate about it. Everton are always a mainstay. Do you know what I mean? And they're one of those teams where over the years they've given us classic teams. The teams of Leighton Baines, Morales, Lukaku when he was there,
Deulofeu, shout out my boy
Barkley's, man.
Barkley, do you know what I'm saying? All of these great players. Literally. But now they're disrespecting the club's heritage. They're disrespecting it. I'm so sorry. And I think maybe they need a relegation just to wake up and realise that, we're actually Everton Football Club. What the hell's going on?
I think what it is it's their manager.
Sean Dyche.
Yeah, I think it's just I don't think it's the right suit for Everton. I think he's the type of manager that Everton can call in if they're about to get relegated and they need someone to, let's just play basic Route 1 football right now like he used to do with Burnley. But in terms of starting the season as Everton and you want to play good football, having Sean Dyche there, to me, isn't the answer.
But you know, when you watch Everton, do you see that type of football? Because I don't see Route 1. I see that.
I don't see football.
Really?
I don't see football.
I don't think they're playing the Burnley type of football. I think they're actually playing football.
No, I'm not even saying that they're playing
and they're just not being clinical. No,
I just see a team who looks so disorganized and who just play shit. Honestly, like what they're trying to do, I find it very hard to tell. I mean, obviously, I don't watch Everton as much as I watch Man United or Arsenal or whatever, but from when I do see them, it just looks chaotic. And as much as I rate Pickford, he might be part of the problem.
No.
But cool.
Pickford is definitely part of the problem. Because one thing about Pickford, it's too much. Yeah. It's too much. Like, and also, yes, he's good with reflexes. We know that. But his average shot stopping is not great. When it comes to his feet, he's gotten better over the years, but he's still a problem. And this is why I was like, as long as England have him as his number one, I don't really know if we can really win anything. Because we all know this. Winning teams, it starts from the back. Do you know what I mean? You need to have a great, solid defence. And that defence includes your goalkeeper. I mean, you guys even said it last year about, when David Raya came in and Ramsdale, it was like, what's going on? And Raya wasn't having the greatest of games as well, because obviously he's new. And it's like, look, you need that solid foundation. And Everton, I don't know, like, I don't want them to get relegated, but I do, because I want them to learn their lesson and stop disrespecting this league that I love so much. But at the same time, it's like,
I think it's definitely an issue of getting new ownership. They might need to look at their structure. Definitely need to look at the management of the club, and then go from there. It just seems so like everything's all over the place. 1 second they have Carlo Ancelotti. What's he doing at Everton? Then at the same time you've got Calvert-Lewin, who's a great striker. Then sometimes he's injured. Then you've got England's number one playing for a club that fights relegation in England as well. It's very messy. Then you've got Onana. He leaves for 50 million. Did they spend that 50 million? Well, don't really think so. It's so
do you know what it is?
everywhere.
Even what you said, Ancelotti and James Rodriguez in Everton.
Yeah, it's
what
just
the hell
so
is a polar bear
strange.
doing in Arlington, Texas, bro?
Yeah, for real.
That makes no sense.
For real.
How is he even surviving?
For real.
Yeah.
So then that tells me that there's no. What's the plan here? What's the structure? When you've got these players, and then you get Sean Dyche. How are you going from Carlo Ancelotti, and then within maybe 3-4 seasons, you've got Sean Dyche?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
I heard Jay-Z might buy the club. Like,
Is it?
I'm actually being serious.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
He
It wouldn't
might
surprise
have to
me,
change
man.
one of his classic songs.
And
It
then
wouldn't surprise me.
99 problems to 100 problems.
Yeah, bro.
I've got a bone to pick
Go on.
with you.
Me?
With you.
What are you?
Well, not necessarily with you, but with Man United fans in general.
Are we not both Man United fans?
I'm on different side of it, because
Okay.
I want to move the talk a little bit to what we saw on, I think it was Sunday or Saturday, Chelsea game.
Okay.
Jadon Sancho. Let's have a little chat.
Don't do that.
Hold on.
Go on,
Let's have a
do
little
it.
chat.
Go on,
I'm not saying he played amazingly well.
He really didn't. There was about 5 players, including their
Hold on.
goalkeeper, who played.
Wait, calm
better
down.
than
Calm
Sancho.
down.
Oh,
Calm
he's
down.
been
Calm
this
down.
is great.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm
This is
down.
great 'cause I'm
All I'm
watching
saying,
a red
all I'm
civil
saying, right, is that I told people this kid is not washed. He's not dead. All he needs is a manager that believes in him, and he's going to perform. And I'm not saying his performance was 10 out of 10, but it was a good foundation to build on,
Got him
and
man
a
of the
good help, and got man of the match. And I'm telling you, if he goes on like this, we are going to see that we let go of a really, really good player because of. I mean, I'm always gonna back the manager. I back Ten Hag. I back him wholeheartedly. However, I still don't believe that he got a fair chance at the club by the manager and by the fans. I think the fans threw him to the wolves way too early, and it wasn't fair. That's me.
Before you say something, can I add my
Go
2
for
cents? I agree with half of what you're saying. He's definitely not washed. There's still a talented player in there. I just don't think he was right for United. Personally, I don't think
That's fair.
I don't think he suited what Ten Hag was trying to do. I don't think Ten Hag got the best out of him. But then also, it's a deeper issue. Now, I know Ineos have just come in this summer, and you guys have had a really good window. But I know I reserved this for the cockerels on the other side of North London. But it's the history of United. Look at Di Maria.
It's true. It's
Look
true.
at
We kill careers at our club, we
even
do.
Alexis Sanchez to an extent. Like, Alexis Sanchez didn't have a great time at United. Went to Inter. Won the Scudetto.
I don't really agree. I think firstly, I think 45 minutes is too soon to really say much about Sancho. But also, I've never said he's washed. And I think I've never said that Sancho's washed.
Raphael!
Honestly, if there's a clip,
Raphael!
if there's a clip, bring it back. I've never said that
I'm just
Sancho's
saying,
washed.
he full
I'm
named
going
player.
to find the clip.
I've said that he should leave the club and he shouldn't be at Man United because he doesn't suit the club and because he disrespected the club and he didn't come out and apologise afterwards. So, yes, he should leave the club. Then also, by the time he now left the club, went to Dortmund, regardless of whatever happened, that you've now got 4 players who are ahead of him because whether they've been playing good or not, they've been playing for United and he hasn't. 4 players in Rashford, Garnacho, Ahmad and Anthony.
But
Right?
Anthony's not playing right now. And
Because he has 3
as of
players
right
ahead
now,
of him.
although Ahmad, and I'm a big fan of Ahmad, Ahmad's not better than him right now. He's not.
You're not better than Sancho.
Not better than Sancho.
But
He's
based
not.
on current form, do you think Ten Hag could drop Ahmad?
No,
right
no,
now?
he can't. He can't.
Okay.
But the fact of the matter that Ahmad was, not even Ahmad, Anthony was playing over him, and we could all see Anthony wasn't playing well, but he was playing over Sancho, who's clearly got the talent and can clearly impact games more than Anthony can. And it may be an attitude thing or whatever it may be, but the fact that we've let him go but kept Anthony, and I know it's relationships and morale and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, we've let go of a talented player and kept someone washed, and now we're going to have to replace Anthony in a year or 2 years' time. What's the point?
Do you know what it is, yeah? I think also, I'm going to say one thing you said that you definitely wanted him to leave. He disrespected the club and you didn't apologise. I ain't going to lie. I ain't apologising either.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I can't lie, Ten Hag, I hear it when he first came in that he sent man back to Netherlands to get his mind right. I think that was when his grandma died.
I don't actually know what happened.
It was something, I know it was something family related and whatnot. But yeah, that happened. But then other than that, like, Anthony's stinking up week in, week out. Ahmad is injured. He even played Garnacho on the right as well, a couple games. Bro, man's here. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? And it's one of those things where it's like, you need to remember that there was a point in time where Jadon Sancho was considered one of the best youngsters in world football. It was the conversation of him, Mbappe and Haaland. And I'm not saying this for people to say, oh, nostalgia this, nostalgia that. No, at Dortmund, the guy was moving crazy.
Yeah.
Like, let's not forget that.
I understand that, but once again, I think it's a bad fit between him and United.
Oh, definitely.
Because
Horrible fit.
talent, I think for Ten Hag, one thing that he's been consistent on is that in terms of selection, hard work is going to come before talent. And we saw that even with the likes of Ronaldo, who we know that when he came to the Premier League, he scored 17 goals in one season. The next season, Ten Hag, he had these issues between him and Ten Hag because he wasn't doing the job that Ten Hag wanted him to do. Especially when a manager like Ten Hag comes into a big club like Manchester United and you're trying to instill certain disciplines and certain rules, and then you have certain players who are maybe one of the best in the world, one of the best youngsters in the world, who've had a great season at Dortmund, you've signed them for a lot of money. If they come to the club and the manager then thinks that, and Ten Hag thinks that he's not working hard enough, of course he's not going to play him. And I will completely back that. Now, if he goes to another club, you see, when United sold Sancho to Chelsea, do you not think that they would have been thinking he might even do really well at Chelsea? Yes, but you still do it. He went to Dortmund. Everyone said he was fantastic. He had a couple of really good Champions League games. Dortmund didn't pay 40 million for him. Why? Why didn't they pay him?
They can't afford it.
Okay, they can't afford him, but you can always make stuff like that work. Why didn't anyone else come in and sign him for 40 million? Why did it wait?
Juventus wanted to come in. But
Why did only on loan?
yeah.
Why did it wait only until the last day for anyone to sign him? Because we can see that. Come on, let's not over-exaggerate him because of 45 minutes and say Sancho was this fantastic world-class player.
No, we're not. I'm not doing that.
Other clubs would have signed him.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at here is I think, and again, I'm not even trying to hyperbolize his performance and be like, this was the best 45 minutes I've ever seen. It was just a very good 45 minutes, and it was a difference from what we had seen over 90, 180, 270 minutes at United. That's the only thing. But I understand where you're coming from. But just to quickly wrap up, obviously this weekend's games, I'm just going to go through some of them now. So obviously for you guys, Palace versus United.
Yeah.
You guys are.
But before that, we've got Carabao Cup.
Oh, you got Carabao Cup?
We've got Carabao Cup
Barnsley,
coming
yeah.
up. Barnsley.
That's a quick dub.
Yeah.
Not even on disrespecting, but it's like,
Well, it should be.
it's a quick dub.
Don't want to say.
Nah, we should be.
Don't wanna
we should
say.
be. But the Palace game, I think away from home, is another good test for us. Because I think Southampton, the fact that it's away is a test, but also
Palace haven't been
playing-
too great. They haven't been too great. I mean, they
Yeah.
tied with Leicester, I think,
Yeah.
on the weekend 2-2.
Came back
yeah.
though.
Yeah,
But
came
I mean,
back.
when
yeah.
when you're playing, my point is that I'm comparing it between playing a team that's just come up from the Premier League, from the Championship, in comparison to a team that has been in the Premier League for seasons upon seasons now,
And beat you guys 3-0.
and have some good
Okay,
players.
less on that.
And
That
beat
was
us
that was unprovoked.
No, it's no. We're talking about Palace versus United.
Mine.
It was unprovoked though.
Oh,
So
sorry,
I think it'll be a
got the
tough
fact in
game
front
though, but I think it's one we can definitely win.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go through some of the games that are happening both Saturday and Sunday, and just give me quick fire.
Win or
predictions,
loss? Oh, okay, go on.
So West Ham, Chelsea.
I'll say who's at home. You
West
saying
Ham.
home games first? Yeah.
Yeah.
Home teams first. 2-2.
2-2.
2-1 Chelsea.
I'm saying 3-1 West Ham. Right, Villa at home against Wolves.
I will say 2-0 Villa.
Yeah,
2-0
I go with that. Yeah, 2-0.
3-1 Villa. Right, Fulham versus Newcastle.
Fulham Newcastle. Ooh.
3-1 Newcastle.
1-1 Newcastle.
1-1?
I don't like their football at the moment.
3-1.
I'm going 3-3. I don't know why I can see goals in that.
Goals in.
Only because Barnes is firing.
Emil Smith Rowe's getting good assists, but I don't know.
I'm changing that. 2-1 Newcastle. 2-1 Newcastle. 2-1 Newcastle.
Okay.
Leicester at home against Everton.
I say 1-1.
2-1 Leicester. I don't think Everton's gonna beat them.
I see a 1-1. Liverpool at home against Bournemouth.
3-0.
Yeah.
3-0?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 2-1 Liverpool.
No, Liverpool are gonna come out.
Southampton at home against Ipswich. Both newly promoted teams.
I say a 2-2 scrap.
Yeah, 1-1.
Yeah?
Draw. Yeah.
I think 2-0 Ipswich. Spurs at home against Brentford.
2-0 Spurs.
Brentford. 2-1 Spurs. 2-1 Spurs. Close game.
4-2 Spurs. Palace at home against United.
3-0 United.
4-0 United.
Palace at home against United.
3-0 United.
4-0 United.
2-1 Palace.
No, don't be serious.
Nketiah's bagging, and so is Eze.
Man.
Fairs.
Nketiah's bagging, and so is Eze. And then Rashford might get another because he's back on the adrenaline. Brighton at home against Nottingham Forest. First game of Super Sunday.
Brighton v Nottingham Forest. Oof, tough one to call, I think. I'm going to go for 2-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2-1. 2-1.
2.
Brighton.
That one is a tough one to call.
At home. Brighton at home.
I might even say
I think
0-0.
so.
I might say 0-0. And then, last but not least, the blockbuster of the weekend, Man City at home against Arsenal.
2-0 City.
2-0 City?
Just to piss you off, Mids.
2-1 City.
I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. Yeah.
At the Etihad, do you think
At
so?
the Etihad, yeah. 2-1
No
Arsenal.
Rodri?
Huh?
With no Rodri? No, not Rodri. With no Rice?
No, Rice is back for that game. He was only
He'll be
suspended.
back. It was a two.
No,
it was
just one-
2 yellow cards.
Yeah,
so it's one game.
and
isn't it?
Ødegaard probably won't be back, but he was definitely going to miss the North London derby. I'm not sure about that one. But
Grieving Harden looks scary, man. He looks scary.
Yeah.
He looks like he's got a point.
Shut
Yeah, man.
that's what I
Bro.
said. You know what I
9
mean?
goals in
I
4
don't,
games.
I don't
man.
think we'll keep the clean.
Nah, I don't
we'll
think
keep the
so, man.
Scary.
But guys, let us know in the comments below. Those are our predictions for this weekend's action. Let us know who got the most right. I might even put a little graphic up on screen as we're reading the game, so you guys can also vote as well. Comment down below all your thoughts about not only the action that's coming up this weekend, but the action that's happened last week. Also, follow us on all of our social media platforms. That's TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, where we post clips, updates, all that sort of stuff. Subscribe to join the TFW crew. And Raf, what do you always say?
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Peace.